The Protoi classification system. There are three main categories: light, gray, and dark. A light classification means that one is a member of the Protoi alliance. With light, we differentiate between L1 through L4. L1 are only the Protoi and the so-called Protoi junior executives, but they are not Protoi. L2 are those who are actively working in the Protoi alliance and are part of the commands chain. L3 are those who are actively working in the Protoi alliance and are not part of the commands chain. And L4 are those who are passive members of the Protoi alliance. Light people are the ones we are working with. The numbers in these classifications only help us to keep track for people. It doesn't mean that L1 is better than L2 and so on. We also have gray classifications. We differentiate between G1 through G10. G1 are lightful, G2 are normal, and G3 are supposed to be considered neutral. G4 through G10 are supporters of the darks. They all have deals with darks that benefit them more or less. G4 are lightful but with dark deals, G5 are normal but with dark deals, and with G5 through G10, the higher the number, the worse their deals are. G1 and G2 are still lightful, but they are not necessarily working with us together. They are reliable and trustworthy. G3 is not bad, but we have to be cautious with them. I would say they can be considered neutral. We also have dark classifications. We differentiate between D4 and D5. We also used to have classifications D1 through D3, but these were dropped. D4 are darks of whom we don't have evidence that they ever crashed other beings. The whole LSA-3 group is D4 classified, as this was the main reason they split off from groups LSA-1 and LSA-2. D5 are darks of whom we do have evidence that they crashed other beings. Not much to say here. Stay away from them. Being dark means that the dark's harmony was removed and their consciousness field is damaged. A link to the topic harmony is in the video description below. We also have fractal classifications. The D and G classifications mentioned above describe the health of analog, consciousness field parts, and beings. But we are fractal beings, or the fractal parts down here, so a better system based on knowledge of fractality was needed. This is the F classification system. We have F1, which is the best, through F6, which is the worst. F5 through F1 is similar to the analog G5 through G1. F6 is similar to all darks. As fractality is much more difficult, we use subdivisions, which are the numbers of subdivisions in a class. F1 has 5 subdivisions, F2 has 8 subdivisions, F3 has 7 subdivisions, F4 has 7 subdivisions, F5 has 8 subdivisions, and F6 has no subdivisions, which means they're not curable. The subdivisions specify the types of damage. F6s cannot be healed in any way. The outer cores of many declassified down here are not F6. For example, Merkel is F5.5, but LSA D5. Another example is, if someone is F2.46, it means he has the damages of types 4 and 6. We also have a fractal B behavior classification. The B stands for behavior. The behavior can be very different from the F classification, which means people with a bad F classification can behave better, and others with the good F classification can act worse. The B classification is from 1, best, to 7, worst.